Hey Libras, I'm Drea with Abundant Life Divination, and this is going to be a reading that focuses all on you and loving yourself. So we're going to jump right in and start by pulling a couple of oracle cards to see what energies are surrounding this reading for you right now. What's happening with my Libras? First card that we have out for you is kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. Let's grab another. See what other energies are surrounding my Libras for this self-love reading. And we have fulfillment. Libras. It feels like you all are at your happiness when you all are engaged with other people, when you are letting your light shine. It feels like it makes your heart pretty happy to do that. Like you don't want to be that person that's walking around always complaining, talking about people, whining about things, just not a positive person in general. It feels like there's this energy around you that it's like, we're good until you fuck around and find out with me. Like outside of that, we're absolutely fine. Like we can be buddies, we can kiki, we can have a really good time, and that keeps my heart happy. The challenge comes in when somebody brings their like dark cloud on your doorstep and you're like, this is not what I signed up for. So I feel like you're at your best when you are engaging with people who appreciate your kind nature, where there's some sort of reciprocal energy, where there's an equal give and take, which makes sense because Libra is often represented by the scales, right? Finding that balance. So it feels as though you're at a place in life where you just want reciprocity from other people. You want them to give you as much as you give them. But I think that Libra, for a lot of you out there, the challenge comes in doing that same thing for yourself. You have to make sure that you find that balance in what you're giving to yourself and what you're taking from yourself as well. So I think for a lot of you out there, there's this huge focus on making other people happy and sort of keeping the peace. And oftentimes it might come as a detriment to yourself because you don't want to be a mean person. But sometimes I feel like you go out of your way to make sure that other people are happy, even if it doesn't make you happy yourself. So how you're sort of viewing yourself right now, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Libras, I feel like for a lot of you out there, you all have gotten a little bit tired of sort of constantly giving and giving and giving and not replenishing yourself. Like you will make sure that people around you have shoes, they have clothes while you stand in here naked and barefoot. And it's like, okay, this doesn't seem quite balanced. So it almost feels as though you're reaching a point where it's like, I keep giving to other people and I'm left with nothing for myself. And that's not a good way of honoring you. We have death to clarify, transformation, profound change. You are ready to do something differently. You are ready to stop giving so much to other people and start thinking more about how you can give that energy, those gifts, that stability back to yourself. So why it is that you don't prioritize your own needs over everybody else around you, we have temperance. You are the peacekeeper. You are all about being patient. You give people the benefit of the doubt, I think sometimes when they don't necessarily deserve it and they haven't really earned that privilege. So with the temperance card, this is all about you sort of trying your best to keep that balance. And in doing so, in trying to keep that balance for other people, you are finding yourself all sorts of off kilter, like stress and having not much time for yourself, not having the energy to take care of yourself the way that you should. And this really just flipped out onto my arm, so we'll take it. We have the Knight of Chalices in reverse. You're not giving to you. You're giving to everyone else. But, there's just something in you that's so kind, that's so generous, that you would rather see people be okay, even if it means that you're not. But Libra, I need you to understand that you are worthy of self-love. You are worthy of being taken care of. And it's important for you to take care of yourself. We have the Knave of Pentacles. So you can show yourself that you're worthy by starting to do little things for yourself. Whether it's, just taking a minute to meditate. If it's either cooking yourself a nice meal, and that's interesting that I say that because I don't really cook all like that. Maybe you take yourself out for a nice meal, go to a spa, go for a walk, center yourself, a little trip, something. It doesn't have to be huge. Like, you don't have to say, yeah, I'm worth it, and then go on like a $10,000 shopping spree. This could just be something as small as sitting at home with a glass of wine, watching Netflix and doing your nails. Like, ooh, my nails are pretty. I have not done my nails, but you understand what I'm saying, right? So doing small things for yourself to remind you that it's important for you to take care of yourself. And these little things build up over time, oh God, we're not taking all of those. Doing just, one little thing a day. Maybe you wake up a little bit earlier and make yourself a good breakfast. Or maybe you watch a movie that you've really been wanting to see. Or reading a book that you haven't gotten around to. We have that clarified by the Five of Pentacles in reverse. You're not going to lose out on other people by taking care of yourself. So please don't feel like you have to constantly give your all to everyone else, because there's a risk of losing those people. Now, I will say for my Libras out there, if you start taking care of you and focusing on you and doing nice things for yourself, if the people around you start resenting you for doing that, they were not meant to be in your life in the first place. There is absolutely no reason that your self-care and your self-love should make other people feel as though they shouldn't be around you. That's absolutely nonsensical. That goes against every aspect of self-preservation that there is. So doing little things for yourself on a regular basis and not being worried about people shunning you for it is going to help you rebuild that thought process that, yes, you are absolutely worth loving you, taking care of you, honoring yourself. You might think about letting go of being passive in your own life when it comes to taking care of you. With the Knave of Swords, this is my watcher card. This is someone who doesn't really take a lot of action. They just kind of sit, they kind of watch, they don't do too much. It's, maybe think about getting out of that energy a little bit. That this is really the time for you to start doing more for yourself. Instead of just, sort of looking at yourself in the mirror, give yourself a facial. We have the Three of Pentacles to clarify. And this is all about partnership. It's about relationships. It's about working with other people. I feel like for my Libras out there that, letting go of the thought that you have to constantly take care of everybody else, it's time to let that go. If you're around functioning adults, they should be able to take care of themselves. And that's not to say that you can't be a supportive friend, But there is an element of, trying to pour from an empty vessel. How good of a friend can you possibly be if you're not giving to yourself first? So, understanding that this is something that you need to do for you and nobody else. In order for you to show up authentically in your own life, which I don't necessarily know that you've been doing because you haven't really been taking the best care of yourself, we have the wheel. This is a change. This is something fortuitous that's coming along. So the wheel signifies a pretty major shift in your life. And I think that that shift is your mindset that you're starting to get into now, right? We saw that with how you're viewing yourself in the very beginning of this spread, that you're ready for change. You're ready for this transformation. And so you're going to have to move forward in order to do that. You're going to have to start taking these first steps to take care of yourself. So that's how you're going to start showing up more for you and other people. The Queen of Pentacles is clarifying the wheel. So this is someone who is abundant. They have enough to give themselves. And because of that, they have enough to give other people. But the Queen of Pentacles is focused on her stability first, because she knows that without her having a stable foundation and being fulfilled within herself, there's no way that she can do that for anybody else around her. So thinking about what it is that you might need to acknowledge as a part of this journey, we have the Eight of Wands. This is movement. This is action. This is things happening quickly. So Libra, if you want to sort of embrace this energy that's floating around you right now, now is the time for you to take action. And we've already seen the baby steps and giving back to yourself and this sort of being a solo endeavor. But now is the time to act, because you've been in this energy, I think, entirely too long, where you've been focusing on everybody and everything else, and you haven't been taking care of you. It's like if a friend needs to talk late into the night, well, you're up even though you got an 8 o'clock meeting the next day. You haven't eaten, you haven't washed your hair, you haven't washed your face, you haven't, laid out your clothes for the next day. You haven't done anything for yourself, but you're showing up constantly for other people. And you have to sort of get out of that energy because you're on a path to burnout. And we also have the Magician in reverse to clarify. So the Magician upright is someone who has all of the tools in life that they need at their disposal. They just have to utilize it. And so I think that's something that you need to acknowledge in this self-love journey, is that you have so many gifts, so many gifts to offer, not just to other people, but to yourself. And so now I feel like it's time for you to tap in, to take a moment to think about who you are, where it is that you want to go in life, what you want out of your existence, and move towards that. Because you've been in a place where you've been stuck for a little bit, Libra. And I can almost feel the frustration coming through. And you don't deserve that. And you don't need it. But there's a fix for it. It might take a little bit of time, to sort of rediscover yourself. But you're going to get there. And the message that Spirit has for you, we have the Five of Chalices in reverse, and we have the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Chalices upright. This is living life without regrets, exploring all of the options and opportunities that are open to you. So for you Libras out there who may be worried that focusing on yourself is going to leave you in a place where you're alone, where you have nobody, that is absolutely not the case. There's nothing that you're going to be missing out on. In fact, I think that this is going to strengthen the relationships that you build with the people who come into your life. You are going to have lots of options, lots and lots of options for who you surround yourself with, the experiences that you have, because you're going to be in a place of contentment, independent of anyone else. And that leaves you in a place where you're free to explore everything that this world has to offer. And if you'll notice that in this spread, there's nothing that says that you don't have to stop being kind to other people. You just have to be more kind to yourself. So Libras, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next one.